What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I am your good friend and host, Kory Willis. I hope everyone is doing well on a Friday, getting ready for the weekend, of course. I know some of y'all probably have some big plans over the weekend and everything. So, I hope you guys finish the work week out strong and get ready for a wonderful weekend. As always, we appreciate you guys always listening in on the show. You can listen to us on multiple streaming platforms out there. Those entail Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Amazon Audible, iHeartRadio, and many other streaming platforms out there. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the show. It lets us know what we're doing and how we can improve the show for the future for you guys. So we very much appreciate you guys' support with the show. As always, you know who it is. I'm with my good friend and co-host, Chris Bolton. What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, Kory? How we feeling?
Oh, man, we're feeling wonderful. Feeling wonderful.
Listen.
NBA playoffs going on. College football news has been running rampant, as you know.
Yeah. It's been ramping up this summer. So we'll see how the playoffs continue to play out, and we're gonna see how some fallout plays out from a couple of topics we're going to discuss here real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. With good news is always negative news in the world of college football to some, fans and to, some media pundits, of course. So, it can't, it's like Kingdom Hearts. I'm a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, Chris. When there's light, when there's too much light, there always has to be a little bit of darkness to settle everything off. I know that's a deep cut to some people listening in on the show, but I had to put that out there.
The yang, baby, the yin and the yang. It's only right. So we got the video game news release.
Yes,
and we got some other news that was released.
Oh yeah, I mean, what news would you like to start off with? The good news or the not so good news?
We might as well go ahead and get to the not so good news.
All right, I think so, partner. All right, well. People, if you haven't been lying under a rock the last couple of days, there's been some revealing news when it comes to NIL in the world of college football. You remember that guy named Jaden Rashada? I think he was a part of the, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, he was part of the recruiting class of 2022.
Jaden, because he was a red shirt.
Yes, absolutely. So Jaden Rashada was once a Florida commit during that class. Billy Napier, which is the head coach at Florida now, looked at Jaden Rashada as being that top tier recruit for the program. Excuse me, and now. It's come out that he is looking to sue Billy Napier for not getting a promised $13 million NIL up front to play for the Gators. So, yeah, this is some revealing stuff, of course. Chris, I'm going to give you the floor. What do you think about this? Just in terms of... I know we don't have much information on it outside of the lawyer Jaden Rashada saying that Billy Napier promised this to Rashada. Overall, what do you think about this, and what do you think that this does going forward with college football? What are your thoughts?
Man, this was bound to happen, Kory. This was bound to happen with, the influx of money that the players now have access to in college football, and how NIL has been used. So It's unfortunate for Jaden. Uh, I hate that this kind of went down to where he has to take these measures to have to sue Florida. But when we're talking about millions of dollars now that guys can possibly obtain, and how if they don't get their money, they're gonna come at you. And this is just the beginning. We all keep up with college football. Anybody listening? You're a college football sicko if you're listening right now, and in the summer months. And we appreciate it, but
Absolutely.
y'all understand that college football is a cold game. It's a cold game back, when it comes to how some stuff goes down, some of the promises made, and some of the promises that aren't kept. And if you aren't keeping monetary promises, somebody's going. People finna stand 10 toes down. It's finna be some repercussions involved, and one of the repercussions is I gotta sue you now. You messed up my bag.
Hey, we go from the Kendrick Lamar Drake feud to coaches getting sued by players. Like this is getting crazy. 2024 is crazy out here, Chris.
It's crazy, and then getting the blessing. Kirby gave my boy the blessing. Go get him, sick him.
It doesn't get any better than that. Like, just when you think college football is on a standstill during the summer, Chris, nah, we still playing football out here.
Oh, it's we still playing. The game is still going to get played, whether it's on or off the field. The game is going to get played by the rivals at that. Ain't nothing more Georgia and Florida than the head coach giving his player the blessing to go sue the op.
Oh my gosh.
But seriously, this was bound to happen. I think it needs to happen. As big as NIL is in college athletics now, and as unmonitored, it is, and just unregulated, situations like this were bound to happen. Come on now. We're trusting boosters to keep their word all the time when it comes to how much money a player is about to get. And the season might not have been that good, and the head coach may be on his way out. And all. I mean, these situations are going to happen. So we need this for the betterment of the game 5, 10, 15 years down the line. And this ain't going to be the last situation that this happens. This is just the beginning. Because some other players are going to be able to stand on their footing, and to if they feel like they were done wrong and missed out on money because of the university, they will be suing as well. This is what the game needed, I think, in a sense, because it's crazy out here in these NIL streets.
It's the wild, wild west out here, man.
Wild, wild west.
Exactly. Everybody is like literally. They literally at the podium right now. They could be asked these tough questions at any moment about any player, because what Jaden Rashada did a couple of days ago set that precedent. Now, coaches, pretty much the whole administration of a lot of these colleges now, when it pertains to collegiate athletics, they're on the line now. So,
yeah,
and we'll get to the news a little bit later about the NCAA and all of that. We just got news about that today, and that also solidifies a lot of what was going to happen moving forward with players and NIL and promises being made going forward. So, yeah, I mean, when you promise a guy like Jaden Rashada that he is a very talented football player, when you promise a guy like him, or any guy, that amount of money, you better make sure that promise is fulfilled, because if it's not, hey, look for yourself to be at that podium, getting ready to be.
You ain't lying.
looking ready to testify.
You ain't lying. Look, I bet your Arch Manning getting his bread from Texas.
Oh yeah, he was the first person. Like you,
and he the backup.
Exactly, he was backup.
And I bet you he's being taken care of, because he ain't said a peep about being the backup. So I'm sure he's been well compensated.
Exactly
for his talents. So
Quinn didn't see his money first.
All right. So right after Sark got his, hey, we gotta make sure Arch check clears too.
Like, look, let's make sure Arch's check clears first, and then we'll look at you, Quinn. Like, look, I know you're on this video game and everything, but look, this is the investment, all right?
Hey, right. But seriously though, these universities, you better be on it.
Yeah. Put up a shut up.
They ain't gonna go out quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And because we got players transferring solely to get to a bag, so these guys got to be taken care of. People are solely transferring, like just 1 year rentals, to get the NIL bag, while they still got the eligibility. So I mean, it's truly the Wild Wild West, and so this is what the game needed, Kory. It's what we need.
Yeah.
It's going to be ugly.
It's going to be ugly
for this to happen.
Yeah,
but it's necessary.
Yeah, it is. I mean, at some point, and I've been looking at it, and my brother has been, asking me questions about this. At some point, when we let the floodgates open with NIL, at some point, there had to be a stopping point at where things needed to be handled correctly, and not in this like ridiculous manner of like what we're talking about, the wild wild west of college football. Like at some point there has to be a stopping point at when you do these things. How do you go about making sure these promises are fulfilled to each player? Look, we know that every player isn't equal the same on these teams. Some are going to get a little bit more. Some are going to get a little bit less, unfortunately. But, hey, that's the world of college football now. And coaches, the administration of these schools have to pretty much play ball now with these players. Like, we've never seen so much power given to the players until now.
Oh, it's been flipped. Man.
And I'm all for it.
It's so funny. I'm for it too. It's just so funny though, because I'm just somebody we've watched college football our entire life. I just know them boosters and these coaches, they wish it was like it was back in the day.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think that's
cheating.
Exactly. Exactly.
When we had the bag man, quote unquote.
Exactly.
You just open the door. You got a suitcase outside your door with 50 racks in it. I bet they miss those days. Cause boy, these boys getting to
it. But see, I think that's one of the reasons why, like for us, this is fascinating, Chris, because we've never seen this before in college football. Not necessarily a bad thing, of course. Tongue in cheek. For us, I think it's bad for. The coaches look at this as a bad thing because everyone's trying to win and everyone's trying to find a way, that sweet spot to win with NIL. And they don't really know exactly how to handle this because, every school doesn't equal the same. They don't make the amount of money as a Texas or Ohio State.
It's so tough. that they got these university T-shirt shops giving them percentages of their profits for NIL. That's how real the game is now. You can't just call up the booster and be like, "Hey, we need blah blah blah." They out here figuring out ways to get money from the restaurants,
Car dealerships,
the car dealership, the T-shirt shop. I mean, they getting to it. They are figuring out all kinds of ways to get that payroll coming, man. It's tough.
It's tough.
When you think about it like that, it's tough out here.
It's tough. It's a fascinating yet like just piece of work that if I was a head coach, I would just be scratching my head every week just trying to figure out like how can I just get by.
Yeah. If you ain't Texas A&M, good luck.
Yeah.
Texas A&M ain't never gonna have any problems. Texas either,
right.
Ohio States of the world, but these universities, man, they getting to it. I don't know how they doing.
Hey, it's the way of the world now, Chris.
I ain't shocked either in Oxford. They always gonna find a way to get to
it. Look, after what I heard, the way that they had to structure Lane Kiffin's contract to make sure he didn't go anywhere, that's what I do. I say, all right, all bets are off with this whole NIL thing. It's like that's just the way it is.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is Ole Miss ain't new to this. They are true to this. All my Mississippi State, anybody that keeps up with Mississippi college football, you know what I mean.
Look, our good friend Steve Robinson, which I would love for him to be on our show one day, just to kind of just talk to us about this a little bit. Our good friend Steve Robinson, if you're not subscribed to Gene's page 247, he does remarkable work, him and his team over there. Look, he can tell you all about the Mississippi State Ole Miss rivalry if you're not accustomed to it. You think it's just like, hey, we're having turkey, egg bowl and stuff. No, this is a nasty rivalry, of course, and things within the world of college football that was pre-NIL. Just fascinating stories.
Yes. Rebel rags.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep. Oh man. What a story. What a story.
Man, oh man. Yeah, anything else you want to say about this, Kory?
Nothing much else. Of course, we'll see what happens. I mean, to be honest, we don't have, outside of what Rashada's lawyer said. Outside of what's been reported through Rashada's lawyer and everything, all we know is Billy Napier promised him this cash, and it did not go to the hands of Rashada and his family now. So he's seeking this lawsuit. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any proof that gets revealed through this whole lawsuit, because that's going to be the important thing. If there's no proof to be shown, I think Billy Napier in Florida will pretty much be okay. But if there's proof being shown that this discussion was made and nothing came out of it at the end of the day, that's definitely a story that we'll definitely have to keep following and see how it concludes.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, crazy story. Of course, we'll keep you posted, keep you locked here on the Breakdown Sportscast with news regarding this situation. But other news, Chris. Of course, I kind of hinted at it earlier, but I guess we can talk about it. The House versus the NCAA case. And this also kind of ties in a little bit to what could happen going forward with the whole Jaden Rashada Florida thing and just college athletes in general. But yeah, it was announced today, and this is a article written on ESPN by Dan Murphy and Pete Thamel. So appreciate those gentlemen for their hard work with college football journalism. And it says NCAA Power 5 agreed to deal that will let schools pay players. And the NCAA and its 5 power conferences have agreed to allow schools to directly pay players for the first time in the 100-plus year history of college sports. And it pretty much just kind of goes down on the whole settlement and everything with the NCAA. Pretty much, long story short, Chris, the NCAA has decided to, take several seats on this. And they've pretty much realized that they've lost this whole war on should players get paid and how they should regulate it along with the schools and everything. So seems like it was already official. It's already been pretty much the Wild Wild West with dealing with NIL, but now pretty much it's a done deal now. These schools they have free range now to help the players profit off their name, image, and likeness now, and the NCAA has to abide by it. Pretty much, that's what's going on now. So, what do you think, Chris, as we go forward through the years of college football, how these conferences are going to use NIL to help bolster up the business that is college football and other sports as well, but in terms of college football, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a little too late. A little late in the game, NCAA. Y'all should have been doing this. We out here trying to get things rectified for the future and settle on the back end too.
Yeah,
it's back damages that's being owed to schools. So I'm curious to see how this goes, how this plays out, how it impacts the number of scholarships that universities will have. If we're going to have more scholarship players, maybe bigger signing classes, less walk-ons.
Which probably hurts walk-ons probably the most.
That's what I'm thinking as well. That's what I'm thinking as well. But this is something that should have been happening. It just seems like an attempt to keep the NCAA relevant. Truthfully, the way college football was trending and college athletics in general, kind of trending to not necessarily needing the NCAA, especially with the power that the conferences that the SEC, such as the SEC and the Big Ten, have. So, this is maybe something that can keep things at bay momentarily, and maybe it'll give the NCAA a little bit of a chance to catch up, because they got a lot of catching up to do with how the landscape has shifted and transformed lately. But it's also something that is I think a win for the players. I feel like we went to college. We know athletes to an extent, man. These guys have been pros since the day they were freshmen. You go to breakfast in the morning, might go to a class, or or you even before breakfast go to a workout, and you go to a couple classes. Now it's study hall and another practice, and you eat again, and I mean, your day is regimented out to the point where you really think somebody is a pro athlete. So it's good to see these guys being compensated not only from an NIL standpoint, from like an outside source, but the university itself is putting you through all of this has to pay you, and it's good for them to reap that.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It's good. All of this is for the players. At the end of the day, like we've seen what college football has accumulated in terms of profit over the years without NIL being involved. So now we're in a situation where the NIL aspect of college athletics, has really helped the student athlete tremendously. And it's one of those things where the NCAA has needed to heavily catch up with this for years. And these schools have screamed out to the mountaintops of wanting to help these players, of course, during their time while they've been at these schools and stuff. That's the reason why they cut corners the way they did. It's pretty much that quid pro quo of college football. Hey, you help me, I help you. And now it's finally legally put into the whole format of college football of profiting off of that name, image, and likeness. Now it's good for the player, it's good for the universities now, and the NCAA, they have to abide by that now. There is no more pushing back off of this. And
gotta embrace it.
Yeah, they have to embrace it.
We're here.
Yeah, we're here. And I think about a lot of when Nick Saban, before he retired, he had his own gripes about how it should be done. If the NCAA was competent, Chris, I could see a scenario where you can't even the playing field a little bit if you actually had like salary caps. And these were things that he was hinting at, Nick Saban was hinting at, in making sure that it doesn't get too crazy. Of course.
He tried.
He tried.
He tried before he left. He told us. He told y'all. Told everybody. Everybody thought Nick was hating. Oh, it don't benefit Bama. So, hey, and it might have been a little bit of that in him. But look, seeing how everything is playing out, I think there was a lot of validity in his message.
Yeah.
You can say, you're just saying it because, everything ain't going Bama's way. I think he was looking out for the greater good. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he literally was, and like had the NCAA, the foresight of the NCAA had been more ready to go to Congress and everything into working out
foresight
things like
and
that.
NCAA don't go together, Kory.
I know. As I'm saying all of this, just understand, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, I think the conferences got what they wanted at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter anymore. But that's just one of the things that I'm looking at. Like, look, if the NCAA wants to live, these were things that they should have been thinking about years ago, and they never thought about
Reggie
it.
Bush was happening. Things should have been getting in order then.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's like one of the players that comes to mind when it comes to how the profiting and just with that number 5 jersey. I just know it went dumb in LA.
yeah.
Just the numbers that jersey was selling. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I just know that number 5 jersey was going ballistic.
Yeah.
So Reggie Bush is an icon in many of our circles growing up and with college football. That's one of the players. I mean, stuff should have been getting ordered then, or Mike Vick at Virginia Tech,
Terrell Pryor at Ohio State,
Vince Young at Texas. Like those were. That's when things should have been getting together back even as soon as then, the early 2000s, the late 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, so, but here we are now. Better late than never.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Better late than never.
Better late than never.
Just imagine though, if this was taken care of 20 years ago. Dang, that's crazy to say. When Reggie was, Reggie was playing in what, like 04?
Yeah.
05?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2020. It's 2024.
I know.
That really was 20 years ago. Damn, we old, Kory.
I know. We old, man. We are old. We are old.
What is going on? Dog. Seriously, though. Imagine if the NCAA was on it then, man, and had another 15 to 20 years to be, like, getting everything in order.
Yeah.
What position the NCAA could be in right now compared to where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's tough, but, this is good for the universities, good for the players. Right. Things are changing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I'm happy things are changing now for the student athlete's sake, and because this has been a long time coming. Like I said, we've seen the years of Reggie Bush, Terrell Pryor, Maurice Claret, all of these guys, mm-hmm. Accomplished figures in college football. Johnny Manziel, be chastised because they were trying to profit a little bit off of their likeness while playing this game called college football. Now these players can finally, reap the benefit of being a college athlete now, and mm-hmm. I'm happy to see it as a fan of college football, and it's great to see. Now the NCAA, they have to figure out ways to keep the business rolling, and abiding to all of this now going forward, or if they want to fall off the face of the earth like they've already have, then be my guest. But it's what it is now.
I hope they've been preparing for this day. That's all I'm gonna say. Hope they've been preparing for this day.
Hey, they've been going through a little X-Men 97 joke. They've been going through the whole portal that cable goes through. They get to the future. They saw the future, and they were like, "Oh, players getting paid now off their likeness. Oh man, I don't think I like this." And then they come back, and then they see it actually happen.
It's funny. It's a different time now. It's NCAA. You got to get to it. Got to get with it.
Yep.
So
the timeline has matched up to them now,
man. And it all makes so much sense because going along with the NIL side of things,
mm-hmm.
we got the college football video game coming out.
Yes, we do.
It would be the same year that the game is returning when the settlement with the NCAA in the House happens. It would be the same off season. The same. I mean, the game ain't 60 days away, and this would happen.
Oh, I love the justice system sometimes, Chris. Laying the smacking down.
I mean, you couldn't time this out any better, could you? Like,
No, you couldn't.
It's poetic justice that this is happening. This is all taking place as soon as the game has been made without needing the NCAA. Because you see, it says EA Sports College Football 25. It ain't NCAA 25.
Yep. That's interesting to note. That's interesting to know. Which makes me wonder. A little side tangent before we talk about a little bit with the football video game. I wonder how this news with the House versus NCAA, how that affects now with possibly getting college hoops back. EA college basketball. I wonder.
Or NCAA is going to try to be involved in the game and have it say, NCAA football, NCAA basketball.
Yeah, I mean that is interesting to kind of think about that, because we know when it comes to college basketball, the Final Four and March Madness, those are terms that the NCAA actually owns, of course. So when it comes to that, now that they have to abide by NIL rules, can we see a scenario where they'll put their hat in the ringer and then allow the schools to come in to make more of the decisions now with how to pay the players, and then they're just kind of like the figureheads to be like, yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Less players with college basketball too.
Because look, this college football game, it's going to make some bread. It's going to sell.
Yeah.
And the NCAA going to be sitting outside just looking at all that money being made, because they name ain't on the cover. It's EA Sports College Football. Nothing about it says NCAA. Hey, remember when we were growing up? Hey, you getting that new NCAA 07? You copy that new NCAA? It ain't that new NCAA. This is that new EA CFB. This is that college football.
Exactly.
And so NCAA could have been getting in on this, but took some time. So I'm curious to see how the game plays out going forward. Like you say, with how this ruling with the House impacts things, because I imagine they're gonna want to get a piece of this check.
Yeah.
But if this video game gonna be made, I would imagine they want some of it.
You would think so.
Because it's gonna make money. And hey, the way money being diverted and these funds are being diversified, NCAA could, they don't need to be missing out on checks. If they can get a cut of this game, they might as well get in there.
Exactly. Like, you ain't got no other choice now. You lost against the House.
So,
there's no going back.
It's the pie. Because this money got to shell this money out. Families got to be fed.
Exactly. It's true. It's definitely true. Of course. So, we'll definitely see what happens with that. But yeah, I do think that there is a opportunity or an en route for college basketball to officially be back once football game comes out, does well, then they can kind of settle. And I feel like 2K will be the first people there to do it, because they already established that they have a successful, maybe to them, maybe not always to us, of course, a successful NBA game. Of course, they can implement college basketball along with that and go forward with that. So, but we'll see what happens with that. But in terms of the college football video game, College Football 25. Did you notice? I saw on X, Chris, that the Steelbook edition of the game will be sold only through Walmart, and I actually saw like a mock-up of it. It is going to be the picture of the standard edition, of course. That actually looks really, really nice. What I saw, and maybe I can actually show it to you. But did you get a chance to see it?
I haven't looked at it yet. I do know that it is, being released, is coming out, but I would be intrigued. I would be interested in seeing, possibly copping that. I think I'm gonna probably end up getting just the regular old digital version, but that does catch my attention.
Yes. It looks really nice, of course. So it's that's probably the one that I'm going to get. Of course. So it's kind of still up in the air whether I want to get that Steelbook edition. I know my brother has kind of said like, hey, maybe I get the Steelbook edition, of course, and then you just get like the deluxe. So I'm probably just going to stay with the deluxe, and we'll collect the Steelbook edition, of course, just because, man, it definitely looks really nice, of course. So yeah, that was shown as we're recording this on the Thursday. There was also news about all of the other stuff that's going to happen with the game, of course, and we talked about it earlier this week about potential helmets being knocked off of players. I think they said that they're going to have at least 32 players can be in like Connected Dynasty.
Yeah.
I think up to 6 players for just like online play. If you just want to like play like a regular game with each other. And one of the things people had also requested, they wanted a return of like the mascot like versus mascot game. That's not going to be in this game, so to some people that may be a bummer, but I think it may return.
Cool.
Yeah,
they are trying to, I think they want to make sure everything goes smooth, so we can add all the extra stuff going forward, but let's make sure the game is good first and foremost. Then we can get some mascot games, we can get the cross play, all that. But let's make sure this joint has a good, smooth release. Because the last thing we want is a bad release for a game that's been over a decade in waiting. People have been wanting this for over 10 years.
Absolutely. Like people have been waiting for this for quite a while now. So I'm perfectly fine with some things being omitted. Another one of the things they said was there wasn't going to be like College Game Day or a ESPN ticker, things like that. But there has been word like that. This isn't like a project. Of course, this is a fully fleshed out game with that full experience of a dynasty mode using NIL, and just feel with all of that fun that the last titles before the game was halted years ago has. They wanted to make sure that was taken care of. For me, it's baby steps, of course, with all of this, especially with gaming development now. So I'm just happy that the game is back and that, you know, we don't have to like sit around and you know, buy the Athlon sports books and try to put all the players' names and stuff in there. You know, I'm just very much excited.
Those were the days, man. Those were some rough days. Y'all just don't understand. Boy, we dedicate
some Saturdays.
Exactly.
I'm talking about all weekend trying to get these rosters right. And don't mess around and not save on your memory card. Boy, you're going to be sick.
Oh, my gosh. Like, you'd be devastated.
Devastated. you wouldn't want to play the game anymore.
I know.
I just spent all this time and you forgot to say the rosters to profile one. Oh, man. Oh man, yeah, but
yeah.
I'm excited. I think I'm gonna try to put in. I need to try to put in a day. I need a day to play the game undisturbed. Yeah, don't bother me. We just gonna. I'm about to sit up here and we finna get it in for a good 8-hour shift. I'm finna learn all that I can in 8 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and have lunch ready the night before. Ain't gotta waste no time fixing food. We playing the game all day. But seriously though, man, I'm excited. I see some leaks of possible loading screens and different things. So, you know, the leaks are starting to come out.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time before we see some gameplay, and that's what's really going to get the juices flowing.
Yeah.
When we see that gameplay, oh, man.
I know. For you Texas fans listening in on the show, I actually saw, there's been leaked footage of what DKR Stadium looks like. Of course, looks fantastic. So it's
a beaut.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and they say that they're going to leak more gameplay. So definitely, if you have a chance, check that out, because I know we are definitely going to check that out as well, and we'll definitely be talking about it behind the scenes and on the show.
For sure.
Before the game comes out.
And y'all know we're going to get this dynasty going.
Yeah.
Me and Kory going to be in the dynasty together. So, hey, I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm letting y'all know right now. We are not running a clean program. We are here for a good time, not a long time. Y'all ever seen that movie, The Program?
Oh.
Oddly enough, it came out in the 90s. I think it was a Disney movie.
Yeah. I think so.
I think it was a Disney movie. If you ever seen the movie The Program, we are running a program of similar sorts. We are getting to it.
We were going through all the stops.
Oh, we going, yes. I'm talking the recruiting class, them the 5 and 4 star players. Y'all gonna try to figure out how. Don't worry about how. Just know we got it.
Oh man! So I think the movie that you're that you are mentioning, Chris, that I'll share my screen right quick. This is The Program, of course.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
That had Mississippi State in the game, actually.
Yeah.
They had Mississippi State in the movie. They played a game against them. Boy, ain't that something.
James Caan, Halle Berry, Omar Epps starred in this movie. It was something else.
Hey, that's a classic, man. That's a classic.
You're going to make me watch this movie over the weekend, you know?
I'm watching it this weekend. That is a classic. I'm talking, you will be hard to find a more accurate movie depiction of a college football program, I believe.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Yeah, it's definitely worth the watch, of course. Yeah,
it is.
that's what's gonna happen. we going through all the stops. Like, ain't no clean programs with us.
Hey man, look, we trying to win. Whatever the game, whatever it allows me to do, I will be cheesing it to the best of my capabilities. So,
hey, look,
I need the athletes. I need all the athletes coming to my school.
Look, man, this world of college football, just gotta find ways to get ahead sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I understand completely. I ain't never, growing up, I was never mad at my school for getting put on probation. Hey, y'all better get to
it. what happens now when you're in a world where you ain't got to worry about getting on probation?
You must be really wild enough to get put on probation nowadays.
Oh my gosh. Like, I will prevail. These 4 and 5 stars will join my program.
Look, we're going to make it happen one way or another. One way or another, we going to get you. Y'all, you ain't know you want to play in Starkville, Mississippi till you met me at
Oh, man. You know what? If you get Mississippi State, I'm gonna have to take Southern Miss to the top. Look. You from around the Hattiesburg, Oak Grove area, Chris?
You could have had a rock packed out.
Hey, we're gonna have the rock packed out. Look, by any means necessary. We're gonna get the best recruits. We're gonna do it all.
Hey. My boy said Jeff Bauer back coaching.
Oh my God!
Brought my legend back.
Exactly.
Jeff Bauer, baby, back at USM. And he at USM doing the thing too. Y'all can't tell me nothing about Jeff Bauer. That's a legend.
I'm telling you, we gonna.
Hey, LT couldn't even do nothing with Jeff Bauer. TCU, get him out of here.
Yeah. he ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. Get him out of here.
Hey, whooped up on Cal too. D-Jax, get him out of here.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that like
you done took me back memory lane. I'm gonna pull up the TCU game now.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that might be one of my teams that I might play with. Of course. I just want to see, like, how long does it take for a Southern Miss to make it to a college football playoff?
Ooh, brother, I think you're gonna be working.
Especially
if you put, that's gonna have to be a solo dynasty. You can't do that on a connected franchise. Look, a connected dynasty. That might be something you have to put your own time and manpower behind the scenes working on. That might. If the game is as realistic as I think it'll be, especially with NIL. Ooh, brother, you're gonna be working hard. You're gonna need that invite to the SEC.
I know. Look, all I'm gonna say is this: if Lane Kiffin gonna be working 12 hours for these top 10 recruits, I'm gonna be working 14 hours. I'm gonna tell him, hey, look, no days off here.
Hey, look, no days off at all. What was the old slogan? Anytime, any place, anywhere.
There you go.
Hey, that's what the old slogan was.
Yep. We back. We back. I'm gonna get these renovations going. I'm telling you, we gonna be having M.M. Roberts Stadium jumping.
Come on now. Hey, look, he said state was it the state playoffs? Mm-hmm. The state championship games be going on. That ain't gonna be the only time it's packed out. For the college football season too.
Right. Exactly. He got to.
Oh man.
So man, yeah, this is what makes this game so fulfilling for us. Of course, the fact that we can do all of this cool stuff, and I'm excited, man. I'm fully ready.
I'm excited too. Look, if you do that, I'm gonna need you to put some videos on YouTube. We're gonna have to put this out there for the people to see, because they don't know about The Rock. They don't know about USM.
No.
I grew up going to The Rock. Those games were something else.
No.
We had some real football going on at USM, man. You know, they trying to get back to it, but I remember when The Rock was The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Damian Fletcher. You remember Damian Fletcher too? That's one of them Coast boys. He was a running back for you.
Yes, I do.
Fletcher wasn't no joke. I remember those days.
Yes, I do. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Of course, I can't wait just to play this game, and yeah, we're definitely gonna have a connected franchise and everything that we'll do. And yeah, I'm already thinking about adding a lot of our footage to the Breakdown Sportscast YouTube page. There's gonna be a lot of things that we're gonna be doing going forward, of course, with bringing that visual experience.
Yes, sir.
Just with the show and everything. So y'all definitely stay tuned. But yeah, man. Anything else, Chris, that you want to add before we get out of here?
I think we said it all. We went on a little tangent, but it was a fun tangent.
Yeah.
So I had nothing else to say. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed this podcast with my brother.
Yes, sir. Well, Chris, before we head out of here, go ahead and let the good folks know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on X. See, I used to struggle with that, but it's been X for a minute now. So you can find me on X at Chris_Bolton_12. You can also find me on Instagram at Chris.Bolton_.
Nice. Yeah, and you can find me on X as well at Listen to KSW, all one handle. I'm on there talking college football, of course. We're knee deep into the East and West conference finals for the NBA, so I'm definitely checking that out, engaging with that whole scene as we get close to the finals and everything. So yeah, definitely catch me on there. But yeah, partner, a great show as always.
Yes, sir.
We'll definitely be back in a few weeks. Of course, I know you had a great topic that we kind of discussed behind the scenes in terms of your top contenders, of course, going forward for the playoffs. First time teams that could sneak their way into. Sneak their way into.
There's gonna be some new faces definitely in the playoff party, the playoff picture this year with it being expanded. So we'll definitely touch on that next pod.
Nice. Yeah. We'll definitely give our thoughts on who can actually make a case in this new 12-team playoff for y'all. So yeah, be sure to keep it locked here.
Yeah, tap in, be locked in, because we ain't telling these teams for no reason. So, if you're in a state with FanDuel or DraftKings or something, you might want to throw a little something, just a little dash or something on there. A little prediction that this team might make the playoff, and we'll see how the season play out. But we trying to help you get to the bag.
Exactly. So it's no other way to do that by listening to the creator of Bolton's Bets, the man himself.
Yes, sir. That's what we here. That's what we are here to do. We're going to all get to the bag.
Exactly.
This season, starting now.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. Hashtag get to the bag.
In the bag. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To the bag. I like that. Well, yeah, man. Yeah. Well, everyone, we appreciate y'all listening in on the show, of course. And until next time, we will see y'all in about 2 weeks from now.
Peace.
All right. Peace.